Fifth wheel ramps, shown here on the Transtar 4300 currently under construction, are another one of those simple little details not included in truck kits that you can easily add on your own. A real-world example of fifth wheel ramps is seen on this R model Mack, now used for farm service. These ramps are usually a shop-built item, welded to the top flange of the frame, and help bridge the transition between frame heights at the back of the truck and the fifth wheel itself. The fifth wheel ramps on this Kenworth cab over are a simple T-shaped fabrication welded up from two pieces of flat bar. They were built in a similar manner in 1/25th scale, using styrene strip instead of steel flat bar. I only have one reference photo of the truck I'm modeling, so I don't know if the real one had fifth wheel ramps fitted or not, but they certainly are plausible for a truck in this kind of service. There is a picture of a similar truck fitted with fifth wheel ramps, and I'll use this picture as a general guide to build the fifth wheel ramps for the model. The fifth wheel and mounting plate is a subassembly which is set in place temporarily here to provide a location for the forward end of the ramp. Two pencil lines mark the edge of the fifth wheel mounting plate, and the ramp itself starts about 3/32 of an inch back from this location. 30 thou by 1/8 wide styrene strip is cut in a triangular shape to form the vertical part of the ramp, and another piece of the same material is glued on top to form the upper surface of the ramp. Adding a small vertical piece completes the assembly. 30 thou is slightly overscale for thickness, but proportionally it looks right with the slightly overscale thickness of the kit frame rails. An optional added detail is simulating the weld beads which hold the fifth wheel ramp to the frame. These can be made using styrene rod, although it can be quite challenging at times to see white styrene rod against white styrene kit parts. An alternative is to bend up styrene rod using colored parts runner. Candle flame, parts runner in various colors, and a bit of trial and error is all you need to produce styrene rod of different diameters. Whether you make your weld beads from commercially available styrene rod or stretch your own from parts runner, use a vernier caliper to measure the width of the frame rail. Use the caliper as a cutting guide and cut sections of styrene rod to make the weld beads. The frame rails on this model were just under 1/8 of an inch wide, which works out to 3 inches in 1/25th scale. I use this 3-inch length for all the weld beads and cut a supply of them. Solvent, cement, and tweezers are all you need to install them, and having the contrasting color, in this case dark red from an old Volvo N10 kit, makes it much easier to see the weld beads against the white styrene. Installation of weld beads is about halfway completed here. And the installation finished with the fifth wheel set back in place. In total, 26 pieces of styrene rod were cut to use for weld beads, 13 per ramp. 1/25th scale is large enough to make adding details like the weld beads worthwhile, and also not that difficult to do. Thanks for watching another small step in the progress of this project as the Transtar 4300 slowly comes together.